Hello YouTube family, James Green, Short Series Shenanigans. So, getting on with surface grinder, overhaul, rebuild we got going on. I'm still waiting on some more seals for the valve body. However, we are moving forward with, these are the old strips, and I've showed these in the other video, that are the wear plates that were on the bed on the bottom. So you've got a male V-groove and one flat area. So here was the piece that was 1.5 inches wide, and I've showed this before. This originally was 1/8 inch material. Now it's so worn, the oil grooves are gone in it. That's how much of a, you can see the gap or the lip there. So this is still good for like other stuff, meaning like knife making or whatever. So this is what I like about paying attention to detail of when you take things apart. I'm presuming this has probably already had a set of these put on it. Don't know. Anyway, so if you look at the back of it, you can see that it was relatively roughed up so that the adhesive material would actually take bite in the material. So we're looking at being an investigator of, okay, what was already on there, and it makes sense if it's nice and smooth, because this is ground smooth material. I've already done one, the wide one, just to kind of get the idea. It's just an oil groove to help the oil. It doesn't have to be any super scientific. There's a little bit of that you can see in these that just goes up and down, okay, and you can see that one's actually relatively okay until we get to there and it disappears. This one, however, yeah. And this was originally also 1/8 inch material. You can see oil groove and gone. It's like really gone. So, same thing on the back. You look at it, you can see that they roughed it up so that the material would bite. Now, one of these, I think it was this one here, was already loose on, yeah, matter of fact, here it is, was already loose on this end. I just kind of chipped it off. It came off pretty easy. Just looking at it, you can see how they roughed it up with a really rough grit or a file. Looks like they may have taken a file to it so that the material would bite. But from here up, you can see a long time, you can see the discoloration was actually loose. And I knew that when I initially got this and was going over it. This was one of those things, I was just pushing it down the road until I had the massive oil leak and had to take the bed off. That, well, while I got the bed off, took some time getting the steel in, so I decided to go with A2. That's the way, it's all the same material. We got it. So there we go. I'll go ahead and, so these I'm going to actually use, you know, I'll pull this off for probably making knives. That's all I would use this for. Anyway, set it over there. I'll show you the bed. I've got it turned upside down here. Let me move my lathe handle out of the way and show you what we got, and zoom in a little bit, and you guys can already see. Now I've went through and I've cleaned it, and it's still rough, and you want it that way. I've got all the epoxy off. There's some in a little bit in a couple areas that I need to go ahead and get in there with a little hammer and chisel and just kind of, you know, it'll flake right off. But we've got it clean, we've got it off. This is the one piece. Back up a little, whoops, sorry. Okay, you can see on, we have the wide strip. Okay, here's a piece that I already cut, and I already was getting set up. We're just putting an oil groove in it. We went in about 30 thousandths and just made, it's not even a fancy pattern. It just has to be something where it'll hold the oil. I'm actually using a carbide ball mill, and because it's just going to help the oil spread, oil channel. Okay, and what I did is after I milled this one, is I took my stone, let me get it over here. I always put this one up whenever I get done so it doesn't get messed up. So just to knock off any high edges or burrs, what I have done is after I got done is I laid it on the mill table and I just ran over it, the top, to get rid of the rough edges. The bottom, I've used a 36 grit abrasive. And I'll show you what I have here. So, I'm a big fan of Empire abrasives. Alright, I get a lot of stuff from them. A lot of stuff. So, I'm a big fan of the flat disc. I like using the die grinder for stuff. So 36 grit zirconia. They're actually Black Hawk, but they're the 2-inch. I run a lot of 2-inch stuff. So I'm a big fan of. I'm always using these things. I have an assortment of these that I'm always using. Okay. Conditioning discs. Now some of these here, these larger ones, these are like old 3M, like from the 1980s stuff I had. I found another box where I had tooling put up. Again, I'm still going through stuff that I put up and boxed away before I joined the Army back in the early 90s. So, yeah, I've got some of these old ones, different abrasives. I guess it used to be how they did zirconia back in the day, but so I've got some of those to use up. But I have a lot of, now this is modern day stuff here, the ceramic ones. You guys, anything ceramic works really well on exotic steels or tool steels. So I happen to have some of these and some stuff. I thought, let me try them. So Empire Abrasives has the stainless steel. I've been using that to clean up heads. And then I've got a myriad of, well, I'll show you my drawer. This is what I do because I grab some, I use them all the time. I'll show you my drawer, one of them down here. Okay. This is one drawer that I do the quick grab. I have the different grits of, here's some 40 grit, or no, that's 60. So that's before it's used, you can see. They're really handy. These take off material really quick. Now, if you're going to do anything on aluminum, don't use zirconia. Do not use zirconia. Stick with aluminum oxide. Or if you're stripping off material, I've talked about these work really good. They're really open for pulling coatings and stuff off. But I'm always using conditioning discs, and I have their zirconia, and they have the grit on the back. These are 40 grit, little Zirc discs. And I'm always going in here and grabbing, and depending on what I need, and I'm always filling my order. So here's 36 grit. You can see how aggressive that looks. I'll hold it up there close to the camera. And I really love these for getting in and removing material. So that's what we're using to create a really rough finish so that the adhesive will bond. So this is just one drawer of, this is the stuff I have that I'm always using. And I'll open up a package and I'll dump them in there. And I'm always using it. That's my quick go-to drawer. And I've got a pile of, in that one over there where it says trespassing, or warning, no trespassing, violators will be shot, survivors will be shot again. So that is chock full of stuff from Empire Abrasives. I'm always using it, you guys. They are a channel sponsor as well as a sponsor of the Summer Bash. They have codes out. Matter of fact, I will put the code in the bottom of the video. I don't want to waste time right now. They have a code that you can use, and as far as I know, it's effective. Well, I know it is effective right now because I just used it on the order. Joe G, great guy. They're going to be sending stuff out to the bash again this year. I will put the code, as far as I know, it is going to be good through, just like they did the other 2 years in a row. It'll be good through the end of the year, and it's 15% off this time. Description box below, as well as Empire Abrasives, you guys. They've got a code out. It'll be in the description box below. It's effective now until the end of June of 2017, because this video is going to be up. So we're in March. Today's March the 15th of 2015, so it'll be good until the end of. And I'll put that code information in the description box below. let's go ahead and get started. I'll continue on because I don't want to waste your time. So I'm a big fan of, and this is a 3101G die grinder, Ingersoll Rand. I love this thing. This will get with it. Make sure you run on a 3/8 line. It is a hoss. It is a work machine. So what we had to do, as you guys know, I have a riser, a 7-inch riser. So with that, I don't want to jack my knee up off of the screw because I've done that once already inadvertently, trying to get enough room to get stuff up high enough. So what I did one day, and it's handy to have, is I took some 4x4s when I was futzing around with the joiner for my shopsmith. So here's something good to do. Get you some of these 4x4s and run them through the planer where you have a pair of them that are the same height. Okay, so you can do setup stuff like this. This is why. That flat stuff, I couldn't bring the knee all the way up and the head all the way down, so we had to do a setup to where we can machine an oil groove in here. Carbide end mill, it's a ball end mill. That's what we're using, and I'm just going to go on here and show you guys. If it looks funny and it works, then hey, it's not funny. Or what's the old saying? If it looks stupid and it works, then it's not stupid. So all we're basically trying to do is get some sort of an oil groove in there, and I already proof of concept with this wide piece first, and just, you know, held it down. We're clamping in 3 spots. We're going to come in here, make like a T channel at the end, just a place to hold oil. That's all it is. Of course, if I had a CNC machine, it'd look nice, but you know what? No one's going to see it except whenever they pull the bed off, and I'm just doing it manually. You know, we're about 30 thousandths deep through there, and so there we go. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to use some, we're running, let me see my speeds. Alright, we're running 660 RPM on Bridget here, and I'm just going to show you guys. I'll set the camera back, and if you guys have any questions, comment in the link below, or in the box comment section. I'm going to get you guys set up, and I'm going to, actually, let's start off with this end. Let's move it this way first. Get this stuff out of the way here before I start. Things that I don't need, I move them out of the way. Alright, so because I'm trying to get this done and I'm just waiting on oil seals for that right now. So we're going to start down here. These are 3/4 inch wide. Come down here. Now, I know this is already going to touch, which is fine. I need to reset. So I know I'm touching. I need to drop my knee down, so that way I know I can go back to my. Okay, and we'll just call that 0. Reset my 0 here on the knee. Actually, I'm going to lock. Pull that up. We're going to go that way just a little more. Alright. So I'm going to call that 0. Get this loose here. Alright. Before I get started, slop out of it first. That might help. The backlash. Alright. So that's just resting there. We'll go ahead and put that up. We'll get our, I'm just going to use heavy dark cutting oil. You can get this down at your Home Depot. This OTA. We're just going to string this along here. We're going to go slow and easy, And then we're going to have to obviously reposition our piece because I didn't have a long enough board, so you work with what you got. Alright, so here comes the let me get you guys zoomed in just a little bit here so you can see what's going on. Sorry. You guys can see what we have. There we go. Lock that. Alright, to get you up close, and here we go with our American rotary phase converter. And we're running 660 RPM. We got our quill lock, and we're going to bring it up 30 thou. 10, 20, 30. Lock that, and then we're just going to literally feed back and forth here. Another cutting wall, just so I can add a little extra out of the squirt can. There we go. Slow and steady wins the race. Get my little air nozzle in here so I can see where we're at. You guys can kind of see. Alright, and we're just going to take off here. And we're just going to we're going to work our way, actually I'm going to start here. And we're going to work our way around and just zigzag around this. So we've got our depth. Turn the power feed off so it doesn't accidentally take off on me. You want to bump it, you're just going to feed in by hand. Slowly start the descent. Just a long swooping. Using both hands. Which let me back the camera up so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. So this is where good eye-hand coordination comes in. And I'm going to slowly come down and across and just weave. I'm just watching it. And I'm just feeding a little bit in on the Y. And feeding more on the X. The other one I was just, because I had lots of room. This one you don't. So I make a lot of long sweeping. And you can feel the material as it's chewing through. So you don't want to get carried away with a carbide end mill because you can snap them real easy. And this is a ball end mill. Or I should say, correction, not ball, it's got a radius. I forget what radius. So it's flat on the bottom, but it's got a radius on the edges. So it's not a true ball. I don't know why I keep saying ball. And you can feel it chew through the material sure we don't get too close to the edge. But we do want to clear this, and we'll clear it. Now I don't want to run flood coolant because I want to be able to see this. So going slow and easy with carbide, running tool oil, and we're only doing 30 thousandths, we're just fine. So now I'm going to leave it straight. We're going to pass this clamp, and then we'll start coming back this other way. And then we'll reposition. Now I know this board isn't 100% flat. It actually gets thinner on this side, and I learned that when I was doing the other piece. So I know now I actually need to bring the knee up. I'm just going to bring it up 15. We'll continue on. Again, the board isn't machine perfect, which is fine. But this doesn't have to be super exact. It's just an oil channel. Slow and steady. We don't want to, I mean, you can feel the pressure as it's chewing through the metal. Just real light. You can snap it in real easy if you're not careful. You definitely tell a difference when you have the oil in there. And I'm not getting in a hurry. Brush away, kind of see where we're going. Yeah, it took me a while to get the 3/4 inch diameter stuff, or the width stuff, but I was able to find it at a place, onlinemetals.com. My guys down at Super Metal Mart, they couldn't get it fast enough for me, so I went with another place where I could get it. We're going to stop there. I'm going to actually raise up. Turn that off. Alright, so this is how I did it last time. So we'll go ahead and move back. Yep. To go all the way, so I'm just going to first brush the big stuff out of the way here. Alright, we got our little air hose. Alright. Wrench, quarter wrench handy. And all we're going to do is loosen these, slide this down, and then we'll pick up. clunk, which is fine. We're going to slide back because I'm going to clamp on the very end of this down here. Good there. We'll slide back here just a little bit past the clamp area and in here, which that doesn't matter as long as we hold it down, because we're just going to pick up, and it just, you make it up as you go on this. Literally, you make it up as you go. Alright, we're back. And what I'm going to do, let's come down here and find this. And if you get right back in the same groove, on the bottom you can feel it, lock it. And add a little more depth to it. Another 10. And we're just going to go down the line here. Spread a little oil out. Keep going. Zoom you guys in a little bit so you can see what we got going on. Alright. Put the power feed off so we don't bump the handle. And now we're going to feed back across the other side. Feeding more on the X and very little on the Y. Base to have some 4x4s around that are, well, once you run through a joiner, get them down smooth, then they change dimension, but they really help out. So it does pay to have some large wood that's machined relatively flat for stuff just like this. Now if I was doing this all day every day, I'd have some longer boards. I'm going to transition back to the middle a little bit. And we're going to come down here. I'm going to make a T in the end. Just because, to kind of help. I know right here where it's clamped, I'm bringing it up some more. Because it's pulled down here on the end near the clamp. See back through that gap. And there we go. Put this back up out of the way. Back you guys up. Alright, there you go. About to run out of time, but anyway. So there you go, cutting some oil grooves in some A2 tool steel. Thanks again to All Industrial Tool Supply, you guys. Go look them up. Take care of yourself and take care of your family, because remember, at the end of the day, you and your family is all you got. Till next time, get out in the garage and work with some stuff like this. This stuff is fun.